Hi everyone, it's Apselene, and I'm back. Glad to see you're still here. I know a lot of you probably thought I was dead, and honestly you're not totally wrong. I didn't completely disappear though. I've been active on my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for years. Since then, I've met so many of you and heard how much my work meant to you as kids. It honestly blows my mind and makes me feel hella old at the same time. But I really appreciated all your support back then, and I appreciate everyone who's stuck with me until now. Since most of you are basically adults now, I wanted to come back with a video I knew would resonate with all of you. I've been working on this style challenge for a while. They take a long time, drawing, scripting, etc., but I pushed through for you guys. Now, just because you're all grown up does not mean I'm done making animations for you. I have a bunch of ideas and a few in the works. They just take a lot of time, as you probably know firsthand. That said, don't expect the animations to suddenly be studio quality. It's still just me over here, and I primarily focus on illustrations and have been for a while. Regardless, I'm doing my best to bring you something fun, even if it's not super extravagant. This style challenge is an updated take on some of the artists who inspired me. Of course, with the old video, those artists still inspire me, but I had to cut off the amount of artists at some point to get this video actually out. So yeah, before we jump in, I'm gonna plug my Instagram, Twitter, and my shop. I'll leave more details about my shop in the end. For a while, I feel like I've stagnated on my followers on my social media, so I would really appreciate it if you guys can go ahead and support me. Short disclaimer before we start, sometimes I swap back and forth between drawings because I forget to add the horns or other little details. I also ended up skipping the teeth on some styles. This challenge is already pretty tough, so I didn't stress too much about consistency, I just focused on getting the vibes right. Now, just sit back, grab some food, get some work done, do some chores, whatever you feel like, and enjoy the video. So first up is yours truly. My style has been evolving rapidly lately, and that's partly because I struggled with a lot of things and didn't post consistently for a few years. I'll be honest about where I've been. I dealt with burnout and severe mental health challenges after 2019. They've always been there, but they started to worsen as I transitioned into adulthood. You guys were kind of there during that shift, and gaining a huge fan base during that time, along with the weight of expectation, really pushed me into a place I didn't want to be. I felt super guilty about this for years. I don't want to bring the vibe of the video down too much, but I'll just say, if you want to support me in this next chapter of my journey, the best thing you can do is simply stick around. I'm trying to see where I can take my art and content in this late 20s era of my life. Outside of that, my art is influenced by a blend of several artists, as you'll see soon. I'd love for you to sound off in the comments about who you think influenced my style the most. I'm drawn to big, bold, fun shapes and fluid, meaningful line work. I'll paint sometimes too, but this is just showcasing my base level style. I hope it still brings you as much joy as it did back in the day. So second up is Max Grech. He's one of my biggest inspirations, definitely top 3. His work holds a special place in my heart, and I even had the chance to collab with him at one point. Honestly, the collab was not great on my end. I didn't contribute much because I felt like my skills did not measure up to his. I really wish I had more confidence back then. That said, he absolutely crushed it as usual. Maybe a few years down the line, I'll get the chance to work with him again, and this time actually be able to keep up. As for his art, his fun shape language is super eye-catching, and his rendering is just unmatched. I learned a lot from him, and he's actually the reason I started painting and began to believe I really could do it. And honestly, I'm proud of what I managed to create just from having him as an inspiration. When I first swapped the colors into black and white, I noticed there wasn't as much contrast as I expected. Midway through, I bumped it up, which is why there's a noticeable shift in the values. Her hair ended up much darker than the reference, but I think it works really well. While working in this style, I really focused on pushing the shadows, trying to match how Max handles value and depth, and I think that effort helped the rendering turn out pretty solid. Interestingly, even though I was aiming for Max's style, the end result feels like a mix of both of our styles. It still looks like my work, but with Max's rendering. It's kind of odd. Next up is Anna Katish. I love Anna Katish. Her style is just so fun and unique. The way she stylizes feminine characters is just awesome. She's got these badass girls with cool hair, sick outfits, and bold lips. I also really enjoy how she adds little decorative elements to her drawings. It's super cute. While working on this one, I actually had to try a second time to really get the vibes right. I do that a few times in this challenge, so don't let it frustrate you too much. But the second time around, I think I finally nailed the aesthetic. The reason I redrew this is because the style is really similar to mine, and I didn't want to fail, so I put a lot of pressure on myself to get it right. I'm not used to drawing with such solid lines, so adding color felt really intimidating at first, but in the end it actually ended up looking a lot like Anna's style, and it's definitely one of my faves. This next artist is Cutie Cosmo. I absolutely love their style. I remember being astonished when I discovered them because our styles felt somewhat similar, almost cut from the same cloth. I'm especially drawn to the way they draw eyes and hands. Their anatomy and perspective skills are out of this world. They also have a really interesting approach to color. You can tell they understand color theory really well. That's extra impressive to me, as it's something I struggle with. Regardless, I truly love their colorful and cool style. You'll notice toward the end that I start fudging around with the hand a bit. I really wanted to capture a cool, expressive hand pose since it's such a key part of Cutie Cosmo's style. I used a program called DesignDoll. It's a free program, and it's an awesome tool for figuring out tricky angles. I'm sure you got a glimpse of the artist's struggle for a bit there. I'm leaving stuff like this in because I want to show off the true process. Now, I want to give a quick disclaimer before mentioning this next artist, as they are a not safe for work artist, so keep that in mind before looking them up. That said, I absolutely adore Riz draws. His anatomy stylization choices and the way that he shades and renders skin, it always looks so tangible and juicy. I don't normally follow not safe for work artists, but he's a true exception. In the end, I wasn't really satisfied with my original piece, so I decided to redraw it. Sometimes scrapping something is the best choice depending on the situation. I ended up being pretty satisfied with the end result because of it. While redrawing this one, I focused on fixing some of the proportional issues, especially on the face. The shading came a lot more naturally to me, so I didn't have many worries there. You can see the piece become slightly less cartoonish at the end. I also decided to leave out the teeth. Every time I tried to include them, it felt too far off from the style. Also, I had to add the chest. Sorry, Mom. Next up is Benny Lee. Their style is literally to die for. It's probably one of the more unique styles in the bunch, so it felt fitting to incorporate it and challenge myself a bit. They use fun, vibrant colors that suit each piece perfectly, making everything satisfying to look at. I love how they stylize anatomy and clearly have fun drawing faces. Their style is so uniquely their own, and I really admire that in an artist. The shading on this one was honestly a bit of a doozy. It's kind of a mix between cell shading and painting. I definitely did not use the same technique as Benny. From a distance, it reads really well and fits the overall style, but if you look up close, it definitely looks like my shading. That's fine though. I think this one ended up being one of the more spot-on styles regardless. This next artist might look familiar from my last style challenge, which I recommend checking out if you haven't already. Their art is widely known and beloved. I really admire the way they compose their drawings, often using simple color blocks to define forms. They also create stunning portraits when given the chance. I also wanted to mention that they helped concept the art for the film adaptation of Dead Dead Demons, one of my favorite mangas. I highly recommend reading it, though fair warning, it does deal with darker themes that slowly emerge over the course of the manga. As for Kushav Ilia's piece, I ended up not being fully satisfied with how it turned out, but I didn't end up redrawing it. There's just something about his style that I personally struggle to capture. Still, he's super skilled and absolutely deserves a place in this video. While working on this one, I ended up changing the colors a lot toward the end. For some reason, I wasn't totally happy with how it turned out. Oidoro's colors can be tricky to adapt into other styles, but I think I picked the best options for the situation. I'm not quite there yet, but I promise I'll nail this style next time. Third time's the charm, right? Here's another artist who's easily in my top 3. This artist's name is Dashiana. There's something about their work that really speaks to me and inspires me to reach that level of skill someday. Their shape language is amazing, and I mean amazing, truly eye candy. A lot of their most recognizable traits show up in their full body pieces, but I did my best to capture how they sometimes draw faces. At first, I honestly hated how my drawing was turning out, but by the end, I actually ended up really liking it. You know, the way artists usually do. Let me tell you, the struggle was real for this one. I think I went through the 5 stages of grief during the process, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. You'll notice a recurring theme in this video is me trying to draw hands wherever I can and then not even adding them in. I also attempted to add some metal details inspired by how Daciana draws armor and metallic elements. They didn't end up standing out too much, but since this was just a bust drawing, I think I worked well within the limits that I had. Here's another artist you might recognize from my previous style challenge video. I had a lot of fun, as always, trying to mimic their style. This artist's name is Crooked Glasses. Funny story, after that video, we actually ended up talking and I even had the chance to table with them at a convention. I felt incredibly lucky for that experience. They're such an amazing and sweet person. I had a blast at the con and I'd love to do something like that again someday. As far as their art, it's awesome and it's evolved so much since the last style challenge. I don't think I captured it exactly the way I imagined in my head, but I decided to keep it anyway. I noticed some really cool changes in their style. I'm loving the color choices, and the line work just keeps getting more and more interesting. While working on this one, I was reminded about the time we went out for a hot pot and I poached an egg in the hot pot and everyone was impressed, obviously. I looked like a witch stirring a big spicy cauldron. Anyway, I kind of breezed through this one, but in the end, I think I captured yet another Frankenstein of both of our styles. That's okay though, I'm sure I'll get it even closer next time. This next artist is so cool. They have an amazing style that blends anime characters with mecha elements, and it's absolutely incredible to look at. I love the contrast between the soft, charming characters and the detailed mechanical designs. It just works out really well. I've always wished I could draw mechs, but every time I try to practice, I get discouraged. My hand just can't seem to translate what my eye is seeing. Plus, you need a really basic understanding of mechanical parts to create convincing mech designs, and that's a skill I definitely don't have yet. It's also really hard for me to capture the creativity needed to make mechs look both imaginative and believable. Regardless, I love his work and I highly recommend you check them out too. This one actually went pretty smoothly, definitely one of the easier styles for me to work with. Even though there's some mech involved, it's just a bust drawing, so not much of it had to show anyway. I love the wiry braided hair that he includes in his work, it's such a cool touch, so I made sure to add that in too. I also adjusted the colors a bit to better suit the vibe. Hopefully I did it justice. As for this next artist, I had to shout out one of my good friends. Her art is seriously awesome, and it's been such a joy to watch her grow and evolve over the years. Her style is similar to mine, funky shapes, bright colors, it's so full of life and energy. Lately, I've been especially loving the way she's been shading her work using painting techniques. I know she's watching this right now, and I just want her to know I adore you, and I can't wait to see how your work continues to evolve. We actually met because I needed to sell my turnips last minute in Animal Crossing. Turns out the next day she was getting married, and that sparked a conversation. A week later, we found ourselves tabling together at a convention. Now we're good friends. And working on this one was such a pleasure because we constantly inspire each other to keep going. Here's another artist who absolutely nails Stylized Anatomy. I really love how he draws feminine characters. There's something so appealing about it. You can probably tell I draw a lot of inspiration from him in that area. I wasn't able to draw the full body here, but I wanted to include him because he's easily in my top 3. I hope I managed to capture at least a bit of his vibe in my piece. So yeah, absolutely adore Nurzan's art, so please go check it out too. I was kind of disappointed I couldn't draw a body this time around. I really enjoy drawing hip dips and curvy legs, and Nurzan is the master of that. Maybe next time I'll tackle a full body style challenge. It'd definitely be tough, but low-key worth it. Next up is an artist called Gashi Gashi. You might also recognize them from my other video. I decided to take another shot at capturing their style because I just love it. It's got this fun retro-ish anime vibe with amazing form and bold colors. The way they draw really inspires me. It makes me want to simplify my own style and focus more on the impact of my line work and characters. Their compositions are also super good. I also find myself pausing a lot while drawing, and I apologize for that, but I'm constantly flipping back and forth between the reference and my work. This is so I can try to capture the style the best I can. Hope this doesn't bother y'all too much. Anyway, I've always admired Gashi's work, and I'll continue to be inspired by it. While working on this one, I wanted to create a pose with the chest in frame. My anatomy ended up being a little awkward because of that. It doesn't really matter though because the piece overall is very cute. I breezed through this one too. I felt like I captured a different essence of his style compared to last time, and it was super inspiring. And it was super fun. This next artist is really special to me. I've been inspired by their work for many years, and I've had the pleasure of watching their style evolve over time. This artist's name is Onips. They were also featured in the other video. I had to take another swing at it, and once again, I have to say, I absolutely love their line work. You can tell it's incredibly intentional, and every stroke is meaningful to form structure. Their understanding of anatomy is amazing. It constantly pushes me to grow and improve in that area myself. Onips, if you're watching, I feel so lucky to have had the chance to interact with you. I love your work so much, and I genuinely cannot wait to see what you create next. The process of creating this piece was just as enjoyable as the last one, although, controversially, I think I preferred the previous drawing slightly more. I feel like I did a great job back then, and I really wanted to capture the unique Onips facial anatomy. I at least think I did that. This feels like a very natural style for me to draw in, which is probably why I'm so inspired by it. Honestly though, when I do a repeat style, I want to know what you guys think. Do you like one over the other? Let me know in the comments. Next up is an artist named Hot Glossed. Their style has such a rich and sumptuous feel to it. The way that they draw mouths and lips is unlike anything I've seen from any other artist. It's genuinely a pleasure to watch their time-lapse videos as well. They also have an incredible eye for color, which is something I personally struggle with, of course. But their work is just so amazing to look at, so vibrant, expressive, and full of life. When drawing this, I tried to copy their method of rendering. It was definitely hard and gives me a better appreciation for their work. So yeah, definitely check them out if you haven't already. While working on this one, I tried blocking in the color first and then layering the shadows on top. I think I captured the style of their Princess Peach drawing the most, so I'm pretty proud of that. And since we're coming to the end, please let me know which one is your favorite and who inspires you the most. And that's the final product. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's really nice to be back, and I hope this video got you just as excited as I was making it. I also have an animation on the way, so get hyped for that. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to my shop. It's officially open. I've got a bunch of cute, high quality items like buttons, keychains, and prints. I have so many keychains, so please buy them. If you'd like to support me and help me make more videos like this possible, then please check it out. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing weekend.